playing.
This is the start, a brand new day. Dreams in our hands, we'll find our way. From the classroom to the streets we run, ideas can spark and futures begun. It's not just learning, it's finding your fire, building the courage to reach even higher. Young hustle up, we rise together, turning the struggle into forever. From vision to action, we're breaking through. The future is ours and it starts with you. They said success is a climb, we're ready to prove. With skills, with mindset, we're learning the moves. Confidence, hustle, resilience too. Every barrier faced, we're pushing it through. Every voice matters, every dream's alive. In this hub of hustle, we learn to thrive. Young hustle up, we rise together, turning the struggle into forever. With every heartbeat, the vision is true. The hustle is young and the future is you. It's not just learning, it's finding your fire, building the courage to reach even higher. Young hustle hub, we rise together, turning the struggle into forever. From vision to action, we're breaking through. The future is ours and it starts with you. Every voice matters, every dream's alive. In this hub of hustle, we learn to thrive. Young hustle hub, we rise together, turning the struggle into forever, forever. With every heartbeat, the vision is true. The hustle is young and the future is you.
Brilliant, love it. Nice work, Sharon.
Thank you.
I love this song. Like it hypes us up every time we hear it, doesn't it? Or like it makes the blood get faster in your body, and it's just it really epitomizes what we're doing with young people at the moment. So yeah, fantastic song.
Thank you. Just a check-in before we start. We have 1 minute, right? Just a check-in. Just to check in with Angela, our teammate, if everything's okay. She sees everything good on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and we're ready to go. I also clicked recording as well. So this section is recorded. In case anybody's registered but busy, we can send them later.
Perfect.
Amazing. Wow, three people joining us. Can you see any viewing now?
I can't see any. All I can see is a little zero. So if you can see, then great.
Yeah. I think from the screen there is some song in the middle between us. Just to check.
It was in the middle between us just.
Yeah. But
it's gone again now.
All gone. Okay.
Yeah, it's all gone. Okay. Yeah. I think so.
Okay, amazing.
Wow. Shall we get started?
Let's go.
Shall we start with some intro so that people know who you are and who I am, so that we can kind of set the scene for why we're talking about this today?
Yeah, sure, 100%. Here you go, Vic.
Right. Okay. Well, so I'm Vic Taylor. I run Touchpoints Marketing, and we have different programs that we have to support young people and entrepreneurs to start and scale their businesses. I'm also an entrepreneur in residence at West Knox College, so I'm there every Tuesday, and I'm the author of 2 books. So I launched 2 books this year: Six Figure Niche back in January, which helps business owners to scale to their first 6 figures, having done it 3 times myself before. And also, more recently, this week, I launched the A to Z of marketing as well. Oh, I've got a copy here, actually. A to Z of marketing.
Amazing. Well done, Vic.
Yeah. Tell us about yourself, Sharon.
Yeah, a lot of achievements there. How could you like fulfill all of these? A lot of goals for you, you know. We are impressed. And we will
Yeah, it's good to set big goals.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Lovely to meet you all today, and thank you so much, Vic, for giving me this chance to be with you to share something about resilience, which resonates with myself deeply. And I'm Sharon. I'm the strategic partnership lead at Touchpoint Marketing. And what we are passionate about is we help young students to build up enough knowledge, the skills they need, and the mindset they need to start their dream business. So that's what we do. And for myself, before joining Vic, I have the experience of building several businesses, and one of which have the support from Microsoft. We were won 150 grand in credit for Microsoft support. And before that, yeah, before that, I did a master degree in entrepreneurship and won the best performer of the course. And before that, I worked for a Fortune 500 company as a B2B sales, and I'm in charge of 4.5 million USD revenue. And also, I won the best sales performer global scale, one of the top 12.
I don't feel surprised by all of this. There's so much stuff. But there's more than this, though, isn't there? Because actually, before you even reached 30, you started 2 businesses yourself in a country that wasn't your birth country and isn't your first language. So being here in the UK, doing your entrepreneurship masters, and then actually launching 2 companies before 30, I think is a testament to, we're talking about resilience today. It's testament to the huge amount of resilience you have as an entrepreneur and as a businesswoman.
Thank you so much, Vic. Yeah, I think with that resilience, I cannot be where I am today. So let Ray know more and dig deep into this.
Let's dive in. So we're going to be talking today about why is it important? Why does resilience matter today for young people? What does that look like? How can we help to build and cultivate it amongst young people? And we're going to be bringing lots of different stories and experience into this hour together to really ignite and inspire some passions for passing this down to the next generation and helping young people to find resilience and to think about entrepreneurship as another path. So that, during my time as entrepreneur in residence, my job is to give students an extra option so that they know they can go and get a job. They know they can go into the next level of education. But they don't always know that they can start a business. And, you and I have had this conversation so many times, Sharon, haven't we, that a lot of the times, throughout our experience, both of us, we were never told, like at school, at college, at university, that we could start a business. And so we're getting to this point now of being able to pay it forward and pass it down to the next generation to help them to understand at a very earlier age that starting a business is very viable. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be enough to make money, to make them enough money as a full-time job. But also, alongside this, and we've got some stories about working with NEET students as well, those not in education, employment and training, and how we're supporting those to give them another option as well and kind of open up a channel that they might not have thought was available in the past.
Oh, there's a lot of great, interesting bits there. We've
got a lot to dive into today, haven't we?
Yeah, right. So
I know it's what we both feel really passionate about. So I think today's going to be like a chat, but also we invite people, if there's any questions that come up for anybody, watching this, or if you have any questions, if you have any experiences yourself of like how you've been able to showcase resilience to students, we would also love to hear that as well, to be able to share those stories with everybody else, because it's how we all learn, isn't it? By learning from different experiences. Like, we're not the only people that can talk on resilience. It's just that we've been able to build our own from scratch. So yeah, if there's any stories that anybody wants to share, please put them in the chat, or tell us like what college or university you're from. We'd love to hear. Like,
Sure.
different to engage as well as to talk.
Right. And you know why I did a little bit flex about myself earlier? It's not about flexing only. It's about like telling you I am through different journey with different role. I'm so a staff myself, a student, and also an entrepreneur. So with different contexts, I think I can provide you a thorough views and throughout my experiences so far. So are you ready, Rick? Let's dive right in.
Let's go into it. Yeah. Resilience.
Yeah. So, why you think that resilience is so much important, and what it means to you?
Yeah. When I sit down and think about resilience, because like the definition is about the bounce back ability, but as we kind of reframe it, it's more about bouncing forward, not bouncing backwards. It's about having that ability to stretch and to be able to tackle situations. So when I think about myself, like what are my own beliefs about resilience? I think it matters because I think there are 3 markers of success that it's linked to. Number 1 is about how we feel about ourselves when we are resilient, like we're able to tackle more, take on more actions, tackle things better. But the second one is about how we deal with setbacks, because life isn't like this journey of like and like everything's rosy. It's like things happen to us in our personal lives, in our professional lives, in our financial lives, in our home, in our houses. There are so many external factors that come into our lives that can kind of like rock the boat a little bit, and it's about how we deal with any setbacks. But also I think it's linked to how much we earn, because when we are successful in being resilient, I don't think it's like you're either successful or not successful, but when we have a higher level of resilience, we're able to earn more because we can scale the ladder within the corporate world better.
Okay.
Move into more of a leadership role, because and this was something in our chats about this you taught me. It's about trust, isn't it? Tell us a bit about the trust that is created when we have a higher level of resilience, especially within leadership.
Yeah, I mean, I resonate deeply when you said, I find it so interesting when you said, "Oh, resilience and can help you earning more money," and then, oh, what next? Is just that, because it's easier for you to climb to higher roles in an organization, or when you say trust, it builds trust within your team members. And what I reflect here is that during my working with my team as a leader of my organization, I feel like, these moments when the team members see you go through hardship, but then you still keep going, you still breaking through, and then you manage your emotions well, especially during stress moment, that you are not, trying to say something that verbally hurt other people's feelings, and these kind of interactions help them to understand that, okay, this is the person that I can trust. This is so much that, reflecting back, I think it's so much important that you build trust with your team through resilience.
Yeah, and I think there's a level there, isn't there? You touched on emotions, Just. I think there's an important thing to kind of convey here, is that having emotions in business or in entrepreneurship is still very valid and very important. It's not that we're saying like you need to be stoic and you need to not express emotions, because there are times when they should be, quite rightly. But I think like what I know you're referring to is about like, something happens, and instead of being resilient, we fly off the handle and we get really angry or really mad, and that's sustained for a long time. And it's like, that's not the way to be in business. Like, it's okay to express, like, hang on a minute, that's not right, but to do it in a controlled and sophisticated manner as we get older and progress through our careers, means that people outside trust us more. And like you said, people who are underneath underneath the hierarchy trust that leader more. Therefore, they're going to go further in that corporate role or within the business they run.
It's not only in professional corporate world, but it's also your personal life as well. This is what I observe. Like when, for example, when a child within a family, when they watch somebody like fighting with each other all the time, how would they feel? They would be impacted emotionally, right? So to see that parents can manage their emotion calmly, behave nicely and lovingly to each other, that's how it shaped the journey of a child for a healthy development. So I think everything in life is closely related to each other. For me, reflecting back as well, like before, a couple of years before, when I'm still in the process of growing more, becoming more mature, of course we need to do it, that like a lifelong journey. It's not like I'm now so much mature now, I don't need to grow. But what I mean is, reflecting back, I did have a very a lot of crazy moment, hectic moment that I feel chaotic. I need somebody to give me advice. And for that moment, I will remember someone that give me that serenity, that calmness, that strength, that emotional strength that I trust and I believe in, to count on to seek for advice. And when you talk to that person, you feel like they have the ability to control the emotion well. They have a very strong mentality. They are the right one who can give you the advice without discernment. With discernment. So this is some example of how resilience impacts our life and impacts the way that we view the world around us.
And it's a 360, like you said. We've got some lovely comments. So Mariam says, Dr. Mariam, hi Mariam, thank you for watching. She says, definitely being real in how we deal with setbacks and move forward in pursuing success is important for everyone. So it's like, it has a waterfall effect, doesn't it? And people around us, in teams, in families. So this is like one tiny thing, one tiny word of resilience has this waterfall effect in everything else that's going on: success, money, dealing with setbacks, family situations, tackling things that come to us that we weren't expecting. They come from left field sometimes, don't they? So a lot hangs on resilience. Thank you, Mariam, for popping your comments in.
So why I think research shows today 50% of young people that experience more stress than ever before, and it's like a lower resilience level that they have these days. So what do you think? What are the main reasons here?
Well, we've obviously got COVID in the mix, so that's like one of the main things. 5 years ago, students that are now between 16 to 21, this was kind of a key pivotal time for them, and impacted a moment where they'd got used to being at school. They'd had a process, had a formula, and then it all got disrupted. And then they've got a parent or two parents being at home, working from home, having to manage a job, and also looking after their children at the same time and help them with their education. So I think that was probably quite a crucial thing. That's each year we're finding it harder with students that are coming through into colleges. And I hear so many other tutors say this as well, is that they're finding it year on year, it gets a harder emotionally to deal with. Not for the teachers, for the students, they're finding it harder to be at college this year especially. So, but I think there's more that's going on, that's kind of on a micro level. I think there's more on a macro level. And rightly or wrongly, when we look at the different generations, so baby boomers, my parents are baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, so millennials like me, and Gen Z, each generation has tried to make it an easier life for their children.
Yeah.
Through
The
you only
material.
want to do
I mean, the material world, when we are, more developed and we have more facilities
more
and
developed, there's
we're
more
more
tech.
used to comfort. Yes.
Yeah, we have a higher level of comfort.
Yes.
And I think this has almost had like a negative effect, because when we think, of course, you're going to want to do like everything you can for people in your family. You're going to want to help them to have a better life than you've had growing up.
Yes.
And there's more resources. And when I say this, I do caveat it with, of course, there are poorer situations and people who are not in a situation where they can keep, give a lot to their children more than they had themselves. So I'm caveating it with that. But in the general sense of things, when I was the first person in my family to go to university and my parents hadn't, so that was considered a luxury for our family, and this is obviously something that's continuing. So when we think about this as a wider set of, let's call it a problem. It's not a problem, but it's got, by default it becomes a problem, because by making life easier, by having more things that do stuff for us, so like the rise of AI, things that are making our life easier actually means that our brains are not wired to deal with the difficult situations. I mean, when I think about when I was, I don't know, must have been about 12 or 13. I remember my dad saying to me, so it was raining outside, and he said, do you want to go outside and wash the car for £5? Like, my dad's probably going to watch this back and he'll be laughing his head off if he watches this back on YouTube. And he said, do you want to go outside and wash the car for £5? Now, £5 when I was 12, we're talking in the 90s, this was a lot of money for a 12-year-old. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I look outside and it's lashing it down. And I thought, I don't know if I've made the right decision here. Anyway, so I get a bucket of hot water. I get all this fairy liquid in. I go outside and I put my hands in there. So I've got all these coats on. I'm freezing. And I put my hands in this, what I think is going to be nice warm water. And it's scalding hot. And so I'm trying to like get the sponge out. And I'm making a right mess. Anyway, I get into the swing of things. And I really give it a good go. And by the end of it, I've washed the car, I get back in the house, I put everything away, take my coat off, it's nice and warm, the heating's on again. And I feel like I've really succeeded here. I've really achieved something. I've earned some money. I feel good about myself. So when I think about these, what are my beliefs about what is resilience, it's about the more resilience we have, the better we feel about ourselves. And the more we can earn, right? So this is already ticking 2 of those 3 boxes. So I think there are things that, like opportunities that we take, that mean that we can build our resilience. Resilience is usually built by things we don't want to do, things that go outside of our comfort zone, and generally can be a little bit difficult or not nice. And we're trying, and either we succeed or we fail. And even if we fail, we've still flexed that resilience muscle, because it is a muscle, isn't it? It's one of those things that you can build it. We don't start our life with all this resilience. It builds up over time. And I think it's one of those things where all of these little tiny things that happen in our lives, and big things, can build that resilience muscle. And even when we fail at trying to do something, it still builds, because we think, I've created something new in my brain that's like, don't do that again. But also it teaches us that how to deal with that bounce back ability. We've failed. Okay. This is something that, even in lesson 19 of Young Hustle Hub, the link is actually up in the top. If anybody is interested in having a look at the free information pack about Young Hustle Hub, lesson 19 out of the 20 lessons, we actually talk about what happens if your business fails, don't we? Like, we talk about how to close your business. You might want to pivot. You might think, no, I did start that business and I now want to go in to do that business, or I want to go and get a job because I've tried this and I didn't actually make enough money, so I don't want to continue that route. So it's about being able to have choices, choose what we want to do, and to kind of create this element of building the resilience, knowing that there's always options. I guess I'm going around in circles saying the same thing here, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it all adds up, and
Yeah.
we get to build the muscle of
So
resilience.
you mean like every journey in life, hardships and challenges, actually, when we every time we trying to, face them fearlessly, or maybe not fearlessly at first, but you're still trying to get through them. In a way, it builds up your confidence, and every time like that, it builds up your resilience.
Yeah.
Your resilience builds up confidence, and I think
Yeah.
entrepreneurial journey actually teaches us so much lot about resilience, right?
It
Yeah,
really does. Yeah.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're not necessarily going to, I've set up 6 businesses. You've set up 2 businesses already. You're 30. We're getting to a point where the more even when we fail, we still learned.
Mm,
We.
yeah.
I'm sure you've got, what are your stories of resilience? Because when, even within Young Hustle Hub, there's a module on resilience. And I interviewed you and there were so many fascinating stories. Can you remember?
Yeah, a lot of stories. So, regarding entrepreneurial journey that I've been through, I first started solo entrepreneur. I have no co-founder with me. I have no team members, zero capital, having like alone and zero. So I still remember during winter nights in November, like this, exactly this
Mm.
time 2 years ago. You know what I'm doing? I bring a basket full of dark biscuits and go outside on Nottingham Street in winter nights, literally saying to every person walking by without any dog, say, hello, excuse me, sir, ma'am. Would you like to buy some treats for your dogs? That's exactly what I did.
Go,
And it,
Sharon. I love that.
yeah, and I mean, at that time, I feel so lonely at some points, and especially when you face rejection, you
Yes.
face that knows, how
Yeah.
much it feels. But I know because I'm in sales before, I've been always been sales, so I know that. And now it's like very much important things that maybe a lot of entrepreneurs would like to know as well. But, they sometimes we feel very reluctant to go out there and sell our services to people, but
Yep.
it's very much important that we set our values very strongly. We know our value sets so strongly that deep in our heart that we know, okay, our value sets are these, and they are not determined by the external factors, right? And for all the no or the rejection, it only means that, okay, you did your best to try to get your product or service out there, and the no and rejections just mean like, oh, these are not the right people for our business yet, and we
Or
just
just
need
not
to
the right time. Just
not the
maybe
right time.
it's not a no and maybe it's a not yet.
Yes, it's a not yet, right? And we will turn
Yeah.
the no into a yes very soon.
Not bought a dog yet. That's what they say. I'll go and buy a dog and then I can buy your dog treats.
Yeah, I mean, but then it adds up. The resilience turns into something fruitful eventually during that journey. Like some people even pay like £10 for 5 pieces of cheese, even it's so expensive compared to the market price. Say, okay, I just have a cat, but I like you. I want to support your business, and then
Yeah.
I pay £5. So a lot of people like that, and we made a profit out of the first sales actually. And then our team, we built up a team of members of 10, and then we won the credit support from Microsoft, 150,000 that I said earlier.
Amazing.
So yeah, so it's about being being there out there, navigate through challenges, and to accept no and rejections, and every hardships and challenges are the beautiful gifts that life offers,
Yeah.
for us to be
Yeah.
to be stronger. Because like when you go to the gym, you want to add more weights to practice, right? You don't want to go to the gym and just like lift up very lightweight thing. So it just exactly what I see things in life. Yeah.
I love it. I love these stories that I hear from you about your journey, because they're just, everybody's got different stories, haven't they? And I'm sure anybody watching today is thinking of their own stories as well, you know, what they've done in their lifetime that's helped to build their own resilience muscle. And it's about how we take these and then distill them into stories and learnings for the next generation, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that, on how we do that with Young Hustle Hub?
Yeah, how we cultivate the resilience
Yeah.
within ourselves, within the student's journey, and then the Young Hustle Hub. Yeah. So for me myself, I think I did have a lot of time for myself. I enjoy the time being with myself. So to spend time talk to myself, I do a lot of self talk, really. And it's beautiful that way, because I can then address my emotions, what emotions that I'm feeling now, why I'm feeling those, or why I'm having that anxiety or depression. Can I do something to help with that? Have I done my best? So if I have tried the more, and I have tried all the best for the solution to that worries or depression or anything, then I think, okay, this worries, depression no longer serve me. It's not good. So we need to, move on, something like that. Or even when you found a setback, um, I spend time for myself to digest all of the sadness, depression. I cannot, like, hello, Darren. We have a new,
Hey, Darren.
and then say hello to you. Hi, Darren. Yeah, so continue. Like, we have some setback in our life. For me, like, I have a lot of setbacks, really. Trying so hard for something, but not getting it. And then sometimes, like, there's some moments that I think I wash my face with tears, but then I think, oh, okay. Okay. Okay, definitely. Okay, we need to spend time to attract these, and then spend
Yeah.
time, um, spend time, enough time. But then when is this enough? We know that time is not limitless. We need to get on with our life, because the world is actually moving. And then I set the next goal and move to the next chapter, trying to do something, um, navigate through a different directions. Because, like I said before, when this door closed, other doors opens, right? So
Absolutely. And it was
yeah,
really fascinating what you said there, when you mentioned, like, I mean, it hurt my heart to hear you say that you washed your face with your tears. Like, that's really, really sad. But it is about feeling the emotions sometimes, isn't it? Like, when we're going through anxiety, when we're going through, levels of sadness, but whether that's been something that we know has happened or something that we're feeling that we're like, I don't know why I feel like this. It is about, we need to find a way to support the younger generation to know that that is normal, and
yeah,
it's okay to feel those feelings and to kind of just acknowledge those
absolutely.
feelings. So how did you, I mean, like, how did you get to a point where you thought, wait a minute, I need to kind of like have a word with myself? What was the catalyst for that? Like, how did you know that you'd got to that point? And so as we're coming down the steps, how did you know that you got to that point? And then how did you make that change to kind of go back up the steps?
How do I go to that point? I I think it's very much to do with your self reflection. I have the practice of doing reflection every day, and especially when you're feeling something not right. Of course, you know it, right? You know it so much better than anybody else. You feel something not right, you cannot focus on the main task. You feel worries, you feel depressed. So these moments that I think, if I keep on working, it will not be good. First of all, not good for myself and the other people, my teammates as well, because your emotion, when you haven't digested it and you feel uncomfortable with yourself, sometimes you it impacts other people as well. You accidentally causing that stress, or that pain to other people. That this is not good. And we also mentioned that building trust, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, is so much important. Then you cannot let this happen. So we need to really be mindful on this. Maybe do daily practice, talk to yourself. Daily reflection is very much important. I know that you like journaling, so maybe you want to share
I love
more about
journaling.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love journaling, but I can come back to that. But I think I'm just really intrigued because I know you've spoken before about social media and how like the kind of doom scrolling
Yeah,
for younger people is obviously something else that's massively impacting them as well at the moment. Can you
yeah,
talk a bit about
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. So that's one of the main cause, right? Of the why the young people that experience like low level of resilience. So it's about I think it's technology, social media plays a very big role in that process because when I stress, I notice myself like I just starting scrolling constantly on social media just to find we human we want to find some high moments we
Mm.
and then we constantly finding that kind of short rewarding moments on social media constantly. After that we feel empty and we feel deprived,
And we're
right?
like a waste of
Yeah,
time.
and it's a waste of time, and then we just constantly be in that loop we cannot get out. Not to
Mm.
mention on social media there's so many like it causing a comparison effects as well. So for ancient people especially, like for me what I reflect, I think that we kind of compete with each other very much.
Yeah.
In society background we see each other achievement and all of that, but then I like 2 years ago I would realize this pattern in myself. I see like, oh my god, why I'm feeling full of negativity of some people on the internet I never know of, I hardly know of them. I see they're like fulfilling life, and I'm feeling sad about myself. What is happening? And then I just take time, reflect back, and I feel like, oh, is these kind of emotions serve me well? Jealousy. I know that in Buddhism philosophy, there are three main things that humans we are born with. Uh,
Okay.
it's greed, jealousy, and delusion. Okay,
Greed,
so
jealousy, and delusion. Oh, okay.
yeah, so
That's not nice to think that we all have that, is
we
it? We don't want to think that we have
we
that.
we have that always, and the
Okay.
thing is we need to try to be aware, well aware of ourselves, the level that we are at, and we're trying to control it. So I think one of the main factor I realized that from myself is that first of all I don't feel comfortable, I feel negative about my life.
Yeah.
Second of all, like I use like 2 years ago I have a lot of mentors, great people come into my life. When I come to the UK, I met you. I before I have and still now I still have a lot of great mentors with me and beautiful friends that I meet here in the UK. And
Hmm.
then I feel like, oh, why I like these people so much, why I admire these people so much. And it comes down to me like, oh, these people, because they have the beautiful qualities within them. They are giving, they are positive, they want to help the people, not only like below them, but like the people who want to step out of their comfort zone, like to give them strength and elevate other people to grow. So I just see the beauty of this kind of paying it forward, of giving, of being generous. And I keep admiring these people. I say, this is a moment I need to admire myself. I need to cultivate a version of Sharon that I need to admire myself, be able to admire myself, not like hate, full of hatred all the time. So
It's
that's a
really
moment.
interesting, isn't it? Because there were three things you were talking about from the Buddhism saying, and
Yeah,
then there were three things that you were saying that you like to cultivate in yourself. So it's almost like you're switching the narrative, and you've
yeah,
just made a decision in your brain. You're like, I'm going to spend less time with people like this. I'm going to spend more time with people like this. I'm going to choose to, yes, like you said, those three things from the Buddhism. What was it?
greed,
Greed, delusional,
jealousy, and jealousy and delusion.
jealousy.
Yeah,
And it's about quietening that, isn't it?
Sleeping baby.
and making
Sleeping.
a
I said
sleeping
sleeping.
baby. Yeah, so it's still there, but it's kind of like you've got
Yeah,
to quieten it down.
you acknowledge them.
I love how you've reframed that. You've kind of just gone like, okay, this is inside me. This is how I'm feeling, but I'm choosing to change.
Yeah.
Is a true sense of resilience there as well, isn't there? It all links in together. And I've seen this going back to what you said about tech. Darren Stanton said, so Darren is a human lie detector, clinical psychologist, and says tech is killing real communication and interaction. I know this is something that he talks about a lot as well. You know, the psychology of how we react day to day and how things are happening. And, you know, Darren does a lot of stuff with royalty and celebrities, looking at their body language. And so, yeah, thank you, Darren, for adding that in, because it reminds us that sometimes it's not just internal factors, it's external as well, isn't it? But the internal can choose how we react to the external, which comes back to the resilience.
Yeah.
There's so much, like, I feel like we could talk all day on resilience. I feel like we're having to really keep tight to time on what our questions are and this stuff.
Yeah, so we meant to talk about how the approach to cultivate resilience, Vic.
Yeah,
So
how to build
we
it, how to
mentioned-
cultivate it.
we mentioned journaling. So can you share some
Yes, yeah. So I'm just going to put a blanket on my knees because it's ever so cold. It's really cold today. So journaling, yeah, I really love journaling. I've been doing it quite a while, but more recently I've been doing some journaling courses as well, where it's like 22-day journaling circles where you get a different prompt every morning, and things like this, just really wonderful and nurturing, because I think the thing is sometimes we hold a lot of stuff inside us. And we want to be able to kind of sometimes like release that, let that out, and kind of not have stagnating thoughts. And when we're on a loop, that can be quite hard to get out of. So yeah, I love journaling. I love, sometimes it might be like 5 a.m. I'll get up, go downstairs and write, and then go back to bed for an hour before I get up properly. But sometimes it's just like throughout the day, or like if I'm feeling a bit sad about something, I'll also journal about that. So I think it's about normalizing, you know, how we said earlier, normalizing these feelings of what's going on, so that young people actually hear us talk about, you know, therapy should be as normal as going to therapy should be as normal as going to the dentist, going to the opticians. It's like this should be like a therapy check where we just talk about therapy as normal. Darren's added something else in here.
Very interesting from Darren. Yeah, I think he bring up a very good point there. He mentioned, you know, because the young people, they want instant success without the hard work, because it's actually it creates something like, oh, they see some glamorous thing on the internet, they think, oh, this is something that easy, and you know, people instant success and all of that, it's just inflicting in your thinking. And it's actually not that, not all of that is true. You and me, through the whole process of you know, working, building businesses so far, do you think it's easy? Is ever easy for you?
I don't think building a business is easy, but also like when you think about the alternatives, doing more education isn't easy, or getting a job isn't necessarily easy. So I think it's just it's same level of difficulty. It's just you've got to make some choices. But yeah, it's really interesting, because like he says, there's an expectation of entitlement as well. And hardship is banned. It's as if like, going back to what we said earlier about each generation wants to make it easier for their children. Therefore, the expectation of entitlement starts to feel like, you know, it's easy to say to your kids, you're so, what's the word? Ungrateful. You're so ungrateful. You don't realize what you've got. You know, there can be that kind of feeling that the parents then start to feel resentment, that it's like, you know, we didn't have this tech, we didn't have this, we didn't have that. We had to go out and do this, that, you know, get a job at 14 or whatever that was. And I think it's about the people we see around us as well. Like, when, you know, I come from an entrepreneurial family where my grandparents had a farmhouse bed and breakfast, which today would be like going to an Airbnb that's set within a farm. So my granddad was on the farm. My grandma was like making the beds, making the breakfast, sorting the people out, doing the orders. And growing up in that environment where you're helping to make the beds or you're taking some guests on a tour around the farm at, I don't know, 10 years old, you don't think anything of it. It's just the norm. But seeing what they had to do and where they came from with nothing, like my granddad, and I remember this story that my granddad's family, he was not very well, and the family had to decide, do we call out the doctor, because you paid for the doctor back then, do we call out the doctor? But then they said, we've got so many unpaid bills from the doctor that we can't call the doctor out again. And, you know, like then the next generation being my dad and him building his business of, you know, being a builder and a joiner and building property, it's about these elements of when you're not handed things on a plate, you have to build it for yourself. And I think that's the way that now my brother and I both look like we're building businesses for ourselves. And you can't just, it's about having that, it's having that start from scratch mentality, like my granddad, like my dad, and like me and my brother. It's about if you're handed things on a plate, it just becomes too easy.
Yeah. And in one bit that you mentioned that I would like to build on, which is very interesting, is that you say ungrateful. So once you believe in that, like I think gratitude is one of the very much important element that cultivate resilience, right? How you see the relevance between those bits? Yeah.
Between gratitude and resilience.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good question. I think, I mean, so gratitude is something that I think I use in almost everyday basis. So like going to sleep at night, thinking about what are 3 things that I'm really grateful for. And sometimes that might be just, I've got a warm, comfy bed.
Yes.
I've got food in the fridge.
I can resonate so much with that.
Sometimes it's simple as that. Or sometimes, I mean, like yesterday, we launched the book. We had the A to Z of marketing launch. We had a brilliant event, and we were so lucky. We had we were gifted a venue for the event. You know, we dealt with such lovely people at the venue, and we had great feedback. Nothing went wrong. The presentation all worked well. You know, yourself and Angela presented perfectly. Everybody was happy. There was great cake. It's like, how much stuff can you be grateful for in one day? Because this is a big list that's starting to be created. Do you know what I mean? So I think sometimes
those like little like this is actually reminds us of how a lot like we have achieved in life, how lucky we are in life already compared to other people. For example, like your health, you still like breathing, you can just enjoy life, you can see the birds singing, you can see snow. Yeah. You know,
and to come in, so Darren and Augustina, AJ's here as well. Hi AJ, thank you for joining us. So Augustina was saying, I agree. And Darren says, if people haven't worked and sacrificed for their craft or passion, they don't see the value in what they have. So that's another way how gratitude and resilience are linked, isn't it?
Yeah.
And AJ says, when you've not had to struggle for something and things are handed to you, it's easy to take for granted. It's so true.
Yeah,
so
true.
Isn't it?
And especially, you know, when mentioned gratitude, I just feel like a strong support network means so much for us as well, especially when we are in hard time, in hardships. You know, for me, as you know, as somebody who enter a new country alone, like by myself 2 years ago, and then studying, trying to find a part-time job to sustain myself back then, balance my study, and then achieve certain success and build my own businesses, getting the amazing job with you. So all of that, I mean, just say about this kind of journey, it's a long journey with a lot of hardships that I put myself into, but without the amazing people that I met in this journey without my beloved parents, without my great team that I have with Rack and Greens, without you, Vic, and your family, and Angela, with this amazing team. I cannot be here, be smiley today, and be grateful. Sometimes I feel like, oh, whatever life, how hard it is, how harsh it is, I cannot even complain with all of these people who constantly going out extra miles out of their comfort to try to support you in the way that you can never imagine. And for these reasons, it keep me what is a big part that keep me continue going and going, because I know that I have the trust, I have the responsibility to make myself that deserve these amazing kindness that I receive from you, from the amazing people I met in my life, and also like everything that I experienced so far. I'm so grateful. So gratitude
It is.
creates
Yeah.
a motivation for you to keep going, because you have the responsibility to, for all of these people, amazing things that happen to you, and how far you're grateful for yourself as well, because it's how far you have been through. You have been so resilient, you have been breaking through so many challenges to be here today, and you cannot give up at this point. That's what I tell myself every day.
And it's about self-acceptance and like loving yourself as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's these feelings of like when we don't give ourselves credit for actually what we have been through and what we have done and how we've navigated through things, actually being able to say like, do you know what, I did a good job there, because it's very hard for us sometimes to actually self-acknowledge as well, isn't it? I like how Darren says here, if you have health and a place to rest your head, you are blessed.
Yeah, so true.
true.
So
And he
true.
says, as the saying goes, have an attitude of gratitude.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you, Darren.
Oh, fantastic. So let's get back on track. So I know we go down little rabbit warrens sometimes, and that's okay because it can get very fascinating.
I think we should now share something about what we've been doing with Young Hustle Hub so far, and how we can see the resilience that we help to cultivate within the students that we've been working with. So yeah, I think that we would all want to hear from you, Vic, how you see the progress and the transformation of these students from day one to now when you work with them.
Yeah. Gosh. There's so many examples, and because this goes back 4 years. So 4 years ago, okay, this goes back a little bit further. Just to give the context, Touchpoints Marketing started with me as a freelance marketeer 10 years ago. It was then getting built up to become an agency. There was we had a team and we were doing really good stuff. And then COVID came along, like a lot of people, bashed businesses out of the water. And there's a story there, isn't there, about, a lot of businesses that are set up in times of recession actually do a lot better because they have that resilience from day one. But so what we decided at that point was I created content and gifted it away to over 400 businesses. There's about 470 businesses that took me up on this program that I created called the Marketing MOT, and it helped businesses to kind of reassess where they are with their marketing. So as a result of creating that content, I then started making more content. I made a course called Marketing Mavericks. It was aimed at students that are university age, 18 to 21 generally, and it was to help them to become a marketing freelancer. So it kind of went full circle and brought them, but I was able to help them to where my journey started. So I helped over about 420 students to go through that program from all over the UK, and to support them to look at, is marketing freelancing for me, yes or no? Yeah. And even if it's a no, as we've said, sometimes a no can mean that you've learned something, you've flexed, you've built more resilience, you've got more knowledge and more confidence. So that's okay. Some of those so when you ask about examples, some of those students now are within our 6-figure niche program, where they're building their business to 6 figures annual turnover. And they're able to narrow down their target audience. They're able to, well, like some have even started with one business and then ended up changing into another business because it feels like it feels more true to their values.
Yeah.
So we've probably got, I don't know, a dozen students who have been through Marketing Mavericks that are now coming through and building their businesses and being very successful in how they are operating, and feel very proud of where they're at. But more latterly, so this year, so off the back of being asked for opening that up, so people were saying, would you also do it for law? Would you also do it for, I don't know, bricklaying and the construction industry and hair and beauty?
Mm.
So we said, well, yeah, because these things like how to register your business for self-employed. Should I be self-employed or limited? How do I deal with contracts? What's a non-disclosure agreement? Do I need to register with the IPO for, the ICO for Information Commissioner's Office for GDPR? All of these things, it's about giving them the tools. So it doesn't matter if they are just a marketing student or whether they are in any other area. And we've also been able to open that up for college age students as well now. So we've got 18 to 21, any of those years, within any course, within education or NEET students, we're able to gift them these 20 valuable lessons that are video lessons to help them to understand what building a business is really like, what it really takes, what the processes it goes through. Because what they say to us is, I'm really scared of doing something wrong. I'm scared in case I do something and I get in trouble with HMRC. But it's like unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. So if they don't know what the rules and regulations are, how are they supposed to stay within them? Therefore, they think, that's a bit too scary. I don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I'll just not just go and get a job, but I'll go and get a job instead, or, fall out of the system. And that's when we've got, nearly 1 million NEETs in the UK. So yeah, does that answer the question? Your question was, what are some of the experiences? So,
no worries. I mean, like we can understand about transformation of the students so far within different programs that they've been through, and they show very practical success building their own business through your program. So it means a lot. So I would like to add into that by sharing the experience with the NEET students that we've been working with so far. So what we see is the transformation of the students being so, they are quite timid and shy, not even like speak a words in the very first section with us. And we can also hear from the head teacher. She said like, oh, the student never spoken a word for 3 weeks, and now they just like thriving and shining and like contribute their ideas and be so confident, thriving up with a lot of heated debates regarding businesses and all of that. We can see that transformation so well. So we can see clearly what we help with the students here is that we provide a safe environment where they can test and fail, and they trust us enough to open up and to share that, dialogue that maybe they feel like, NEET student, they are not the one who follow the traditional path, and they feel like they actually belong. They have somewhere to belong. They have another pathway to try the future.
You're right.
Their doors are not closed. They even can build their own business stream, and we can see that so many people, they are doing that right now from a very young age. They don't need to follow any traditional route. We wish that we are taught something like this years before, in our time, in your time, and in my time. Like in my country, especially, like I think so. Like a lot of norm, it's like a norm for a lot of people. I think they graduated from very top university and they're trying to find a great job from a multinational corporation and something like that, a very competitive salary. That's what I did. But then, like actually, if somebody tell you you can start your business, what you're passionate of, what you are passionate about, you can make money from your own passion. How much is it changed my life now? Like, I wish I could start earlier. So that's something like I wish I could know that there's some path for me like this earlier.
Yeah.
So this is what we are trying to do, and we're trying to help the students with.
And
And
that's a common thinking that, when I speak to students, sometimes they'll say, but I need to go and get a job first before I start a business. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's
okay.
absolutely fine.
Yeah.
That's no problem. But you can choose, you can choose to start your business like whilst you're at college or whilst you're at university, so that the minute you finish, you've got it and you're good to go.
Yeah, especially during the age of job reduction and everything right now, is the
Yeah.
future is so uncertain. That's where the resilience comes in. That's where like the mindset of resilience and bouncing back and navigating through the uncertainty comes in, and that's what we're doing. So, by the way, we can see the barcode on the screen for you to download our free framework of how to build up resilience in students and about our entrepreneurial program. And if you are interested, you can book a call with us later so we can share you more about our program and how we can help your students. And so far, we have helped like more than 5,000 students across different colleges in the UK now. And yeah, we're on that path, and we really hope to help more and more, benefit more and more students. That's our ambition. That's our inspiration. What we are doing, what we do, and I think it's also time for us to wrap up. We don't have enough time for Q&A. Do you want to do some the 5 minutes for Q&A?
Yeah, well, I don't know if there's anything in there. If there's anybody live here that wants to add any questions in, please do, and we can start to wrap up things, kind of summarize things as we wait, in case there are any last minute questions. So yeah, we've talked about quite a lot of different things today. What is resilience and why does it matter? What does it look like in reality? And how do you cultivate resilience within the next generation and within ourselves? Yeah, so many stories as well throughout the way. I think one of the things that we hear people say a lot is that you can't be what you can't see. And that relates to so many different things throughout society, but also within entrepreneurship. Me being an entrepreneur in residence at West Knox College means students are seeing me walk around, talking to students, having one-to-ones, doing mentoring, talking at the front, explaining about things, launching a book. Like, they see stuff happening in reality, and the courses that they have the ability to access as well, the 20 videos, it's like they see it firsthand. They see a live person walking around the college. So yeah, I think this whole you can't be what you can't see is when what we do with Young Hustle Hub is we don't profess to have all the answers, but what we feel very proud of is that we kind of like, here is the educational system, and we layer everything that we know on top, that it reinforces what's being taught in the classroom and complements everything really nicely, so that a student hears something about, I don't know, SWOT analysis or something like that, and then we are then saying like, okay, let's start thinking about competitors. What are their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? Like, we're layering things so that then they think back to the classroom and they're like, that makes sense now. Not that it might not have before, but as in it's another layer of helping it to sink in better. So yeah, I think we've done so much. We've covered so much today, and I know I've done a talk on resilience for Glasgow University and done a 2-hour session. So if that's something that anybody is thinking they would like us to come in and do a session on resilience, either with tutors or with students, we're very happy to talk through that. Please do scan the QR code, download our info pack, and we can get in touch with you that way. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that we see is about resilience is about the bounce back ability, but also it's about bouncing forward. It's about taking those lessons, learning whether it's worked or whether it hasn't worked, and moving forward in the career, whether that is in education, further education, whether that is in going into the world of work, or whether that is starting their own business, or a mix of all three, perhaps. And it's lovely that Mariam said, thank you for staying the duration. And she said, thanks so much. I really enjoyed listening. Your students are very blessed. Thank you. That means a lot.
Thank you, Mariam.
Sharon, what are you sorry, go on.
That means a lot to us. Thank you, Mariam. That's what I said. I mean, I mean, the main takeaway should be like Darren just mentioned again and again. There's no instant success. Success is built on patience, overcoming a lot of challenges in life, tenacity and resilience, right? So there's no instant success. You need patience. You need hard work. That's it. And please, throw yourself in try to get out of your comfort zone. That's what I say, because for me, I think it's one part because of my dad instilled that trait in me. Whenever I feel something like people just try to scare away, because when something that you meet, that you face, the unknown world, you want to shine away from that. You don't want to try. For me, I know that's so much for sure. If I try this, I don't know it very well, but I try it. I know it well. I can conquer it, and I can master it. That's my mindset. I train my mindset to be like that. So put yourself into the situation that you don't know much about.
Yeah.
You are in the hardship and challenges. Check yourself challenges, even when you are in life.
Exactly like this today. This is our first time doing a live stream on StreamYard together. Like, we've thrown ourselves in. We don't really think too much about it. We're just like, shall we just do StreamYard and give people help on resilient? Yeah, let's just do it. See what happens. And if we get loads of people, great. If we help people, brilliant. And if we don't, it's okay. We've learned something. We've tried something. Yeah.
That's true. I didn't even know how to use StreamYard like a week, 2 weeks ago. Right. So it's all good. It's all amazing. Yeah. I mean, we are just so thankful for all of your attendance today, for your listening, and for your valuable time. And we really hope that with all our efforts, we're trying to bring out our stories, our journey, being different roles. We can add a lot of some insights, some helpful insights to the students, to the college representatives, and to the audience. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for staying. And I'm sure Sharon's going to put our special song on again to finish. Yeah. Have we got it again?
Yeah, of course. We end soon, and it's popping up again very, very soon for sure. And we will see you in our next talk sometime soon. Maybe.
Yeah, please get in touch with us on LinkedIn. Send us a message. Let us know any questions that might have come up. If you're watching this on replay, let us know any questions that have come up. And if there's any topics you want us to talk about, again, related to entrepreneurship, resilience, confidence, please let us know. We're happy to oblige.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and goodbye.
This is the start, a brand new day. Dreams in our hands, we'll find our way. From the classroom to the streets we run, ideas can spark and future's begun. It's not just learning, it's finding your fire, building the courage to reach even higher. Young hustle up, we rise together, turning the struggle into forever. From vision to action, we're breaking through. The future is ours and it starts with you. They said success is a climb, we're ready to prove. With skills, with mindset, we're learning the moves. Confidence, hustle, resilience too. Every barrier faced, we're pushing it through. Every voice matters, every dream's alive. In this hub of hustle, we learn to thrive. Young hustle up, we rise together, turning the struggle into forever. With every heartbeat, the vision is true. The hustle is young and the future is you. It's not just learning, it's finding your fire, building the courage to reach even higher. Young hustle hub, we rise together, turning the struggle into forever. From vision to action, we're breaking through. The future is ours and it starts with you. Every voice matters, every dream's alive. In this hub of hustle, we learn to thrive. Young hustle hub, we rise together,